All right, we're about to go ahead and start in the next few minutes. Let me know if anyone can hear me and if the volume is good before we go ahead and start. All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the stream. My name is Max, and we just got done with CES 2025. So I went ahead and did a poll here. Let me know if my mic is good or if I need to adjust the volume a little bit. But yeah, I just did a poll right now just to see how everybody felt about CES 2025. Yeah, I should have put another option on there. I see you, Liza. Yeah, I should have put a option before in the middle of it saying like it was kind of like lackluster. I'll do that for next time. But looking at here, what's going on, Liza? How's everything going? Let's see here. Yeah, what's going on, Moan? How's everything going? Yeah, I see people are slowly coming in. He says no audio. Let me see here. Can't hear you. Okay, so you can't hear. Okay. So ASD, how's it going? Is the volume good? I want to make sure because one person said that the volume is not on, but I just did a test. Hey, what's going on, Derek? Can y'all hear me on stream? I want to make sure because I don't know if I need to do an adjustment, but I think I'm good. Yeah, okay, so you can hear me fine. All right, so I think Moan, I think it might just be you, sir, when it comes to this, but maybe you just need to check your volume and go from there. All right, so the volume is good. All right, perfect. Okay. All right, so welcome to the stream, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining. I did put a poll out there, so go ahead and do a vote, and then I'm about to go ahead and pull up the tally to see how everyone's thoughts are about CES 2025. Do you thought it was good? Do you thought I should have put a third option on there? I'll do that for next time. Or you thought it was kind of like lackluster and stuff. So I'm kind of curious to see how everybody voted on here. Let me see here. It seemed like it's split so far, 50-50, which is kind of interesting. But what's going on, Plasma D? How's everything going on your side? Let me see here. Yeah, what's going on, Isaac? How's everything going on your side? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about CES. I think everything is good with the volume because everybody's starting to join in right now. Um, so CES is officially over. And there's a lot of anticipation and angst when it came to CES. And so far, I'm looking at the polls right now. It seems like it's 50-50 between everyone right now. But my opinion about CES 2025 is I thought it was okay and stuff. I thought I was going to be blown away with this year's announcement, but thinking about it and looking at the lineup of TVs, it wasn't really all that great and stuff, in my opinion. We got some interesting news about Samsung, the lackluster of not having the 83-inch. And then we found out that LG is not going to be doing the MLA. And then Also, too, we really don't know the whole full lineup of what TCL is doing. They only announced the 6 and the 7 mini LED TVs, and then Hisense already only talked about their RGB LED TV, which only comes in 100 inch and 116 inch, which is interesting in its own. What we're going to talk about. Panasonic came and made some announcement, which I thought was interesting as well. And then Sony, of course, it was a no-show because they usually don't announce their or well, they really don't participate at CES when it comes to their TV lineup. So we'll know a little bit more about that a little bit later. But what I am going to do is I am going to put up another poll just to see how everybody felt about this, because I'm about to go ahead and end this right now. And I see that, oh my goodness, man, as the people are coming in right now, yeah, it's let me go ahead and end this poll. I'm about to do another one right now. Um, because I want to do this. It seems like people were excited in one of their time back at CES 2025. So we only had 12 votes in so far, but we got 20 people on the stream. So I want to say thank y'all for coming in and stuff. And yeah, that's interesting. It seemed like the majority seemed like they didn't really care for CES. But what I'm about to go ahead and do too is that just to make everything kind of like even. I'm kind of curious to see who stole the show for CES this year. So give me just a second right now while I go ahead and load that up and stuff. But so far, I really didn't find really a lot of exciting news at CES. I just realized I spelled that wrong. But I do want to talk about it because hey, we just got done with it, and just the question is, how y'all feeling about 2025 to see if there's going to be if anyone's going to be picking up any TVs this year. I don't know. We still have to see what Sony got lined up, but so far we just have to wait and see until other stuff is coming in. But what I'm about to go ahead and do and make sure I spelled everything right is I'm about to go ahead and see if I can start another poll. For some reason, it must contain between 1 and 3 characters. So that's probably why. And all right, so first news I do want to kind of like start off with. I was trying to get this poll together, but it looked like I got too many characters on here. Um, okay. Oh, hold on for a minute. Yeah, I think I can't do this poll. Okay, so yeah, I thought I could do this poll. Yeah, I'll do it for next time. Seemed like I'm at a character limit. But let me go ahead and kind of like bring out so I did a poll earlier this week just to see how people felt about who to think won at CES. And so far people weren't really all that excited about it. And it seems like there was a lot of disappointment with Samsung. It seemed like a lot of people were really disappointed with Samsung not coming out with the 83-inch version of the QD OLED, and there's been a lot of questions about it specifically, as in why they haven't come out with their TVs and stuff. So that's something that I do want to kind of like cover because it seemed like a lot of people. Hold on, I'm trying to bring this post up as we speak. It's still in the show. Okay, let me see if I could bring this up. And yeah, let me see if I can share it. I'm about to go ahead and share the screen with you guys first. And let me see if I could transition. Let me know if everyone can see it. All right, so this was the poll that I was trying to put in the chat, but somehow I got a character limit. But the question specifically is that who's still in the show the best TV lineup for CES? And I put in LG, Samsung, TCL, and Hisense. So for YouTube specifically, you only could do 4 options, which is kinda weird. I wish I could put, like, 6 options because I wanted to put Panasonic and I also wanted to put Sony, but, with the limitation with the poll, only could do 4. So, with the 4 that I chose and the reason why I didn't put Panasonic on there is because, I j we got a lot of great news on there with, Panasonic, but it was just when I was making up the poll, I just couldn't put Panasonic on there, so I put TCL and Hisense on there because it's just the fact is that we got. I was kind of curious to see where people were leaning towards when it comes to the budget friendly TVs. But looking at the poll and looking at the screen right now, and I don't know you can't see it that well, but it looks like Hisense with the RGB mini LED was pretty much the disruptor for CES, followed by LG. I put in trying to make a joke, OLED forever, followed by Samsung, and then it was TCL was at the bottom with this, which I thought was really interesting on here because, and I got some comments on here too about Hisense specifically, and yeah, Hisense really stole the show as their new RGB LED LCD TV, and I kind of wanted to bring this up as one of our first topics of the stream. And let me know if anyone is having any issues with seeing this screen, and then I can see if I can make an adjustment. But um, looking at this specifically, it seems like let's see, hopefully you can see. Yeah, it seems like Hisense stole the show with the newest technology. And so I think what made this interesting specifically is that it's going to be one of the first TVs that's going to come out this year. Hearing it from Stop the FOMO, hearing it from Caleb from Digital Trends, and there's some other content creators as well that was mentioning Linus Tech. He also was mentioning that Hisense is going to be coming out with this RGB mini LED TV. So what I found it kind of interesting about this TV in particular, and reason why I made this video, I kind of blew it up because nobody wasn't talking about it at first, and then the next day, all of a sudden, you saw Digital Trends, you saw Stop the FOMO, you saw Brian, you see all these other people will start releasing these videos and stuff because when I was looking at the presentation, for Hisense on I think it came out Monday or a little bit of Tuesday. And when he posted it on YouTube, this is something that kind of like struck me because I was like thinking about it. I was like RGB, and I was like 10,000 nits. They was talking about 10,000 nits for the longest time, but what really kind of struck me was the 97% BT 2020, and I was just like, what? I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then what really caught my eye was is that when I was looking at the presentation specifically, they mentioned that it's going to be surpassing QD OLED when it comes to the BT 2020. And so I was just like, what the hell? I was just like, no way, and stuff like that. So as it was talking about more in the presentation, and as it was talking about what they doing with the RGB OLED, how they doing the technology, and how they was able to achieve this. Then I started really kind of like thinking about this and how they were marketing this or doing a presentation on this. And I was like, what if this actually is going to be better than QD OLED? And so I was doing a whole bunch of research, digging and stuff, and I was trying to look at the forums. I was trying to look at if anybody did any more news postings. Flat Panel HD did a post. Also, another company did a post. Tech Radar also did a post as well too. And it just seemed like all these news outlets were starting to post like right after each other about what Hisense is doing with their trichroma LED TV, which I thought was just like what I mean, it just blew my mind. Granted, I know 100 inch, 116 inch is, definitely out of the realm of a lot of people's when it comes to size wise, when it comes to having their TV at home. Not a lot of people don't have the space for it and stuff. I get it. But what I found is so interesting about this TV specifically is just the technology. And then the question that I was thinking to myself was, how this is going to eventually trickle down to their lower tier models or smaller size models. Yeah, I kind of wish they came out with a smaller size, like a 55, 65, 75, and 85 inch, doing this trichroma LED TV. But what I'm thinking what Hisense is doing is right now is that they really trying to hit that premium market, especially how Sony, Samsung, LG has been penetrating for the longest time. And I think Hisense is really starting to step up their game even compared to TCL, specifically, because Hisense is really trying to become that premium market when it comes to depending on the specific TV when it comes to the UX lineup. And it's just like when I'm reading this, it's just the technology that they've been working on in the background is just utterly amazing. And it's just like I know I was looking at this on YouTube and seeing how people reactions were. And like I said, looking at video and see how people capture it, it doesn't tell the whole story. But looking at people's reaction to the TV, it was a overwhelming response that Heisen really made a punch at CES 2025 compared to Samsung QD OLED display, which I thought was really interesting. And I think the other manufacturers definitely heard that. Now, Samsung does have a prototype. They have a RGB micro LED TV that rumored to be maybe coming out sometime this year. I believe it's a 98 inch. Don't quote me on the size specifically, but it's supposed to be something around about and may come out this year. But the thing is with micro LED TVs and stuff, um, that's going to be you talking about expensive. That's going to be kind of like on another tier compared to what Hisense is going to sell this RGB LED LCD TV. The reason why I'm saying that is because I think it's going to be the middle ground between micro LED and then how the mini LED and then how they had the RGB mini LED LCD. And the reason why I'm saying it's the middle between those two is because it's getting closer to what people are looking for as in a TV, but we have to wait and see. I'm just speculating at the moment. I'm just the only reason I'm because I haven't seen the TV in person, and then the TV is supposed to be coming out sometime in 2025. I know Caleb made a guess that may come out in summer 2025. I don't know. But Hisense did announce that it is coming out this year, which is crazy. It's not coming out next year, it's coming out this year. So I'm really curious to see whoever picks that TV up and reviews it to see how they feel about the TV. And how it's going to perform compared to QD OLED, because I think that is going to be the question that is on everybody's mind looking at the TV compared looking at this TV specifically, how it performs against QD OLED, Samsung, and Sony TV to see how it performs and if it's really going to be this 97 inch BT 2020. And so we're just gonna have to wait and see and stuff. So I'm kind of curious in the comments how everyone felt about that. I know it's a lot of people is joining the chat right now, and let me go ahead and see if I could go ahead and catch up. And if you see me kind of looking over there because I'm looking at my monitor, I'm kind of curious to see how people feel about this TV because I don't know. I'm excited about it. I think it's interesting and exciting just to hear about that. I don't know what the price is going to be. I know I see some people in the comments right now are mentioning that it's going to be like $30,000. It might be $30,000, or Heisen may surprise us, and it may be around the 15s. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. I'm not saying that it's going to be 100% accurate, but let's just say I I think it might be under 20,000, and it's definitely going to be over $10,000. So I could be wrong, and so I'm just putting my guess on there because it seemed like Hisense always been they've been surprising a lot of people when it comes to their pricing of their TVs. So I'm kind of curious of what people thoughts are about it to see if they're really interested about it. Let me see here. Oh yeah, let me give a shout out to everyone that is in the chat right now. Thanks everyone for joining. Man, 29 people. That's thank y'all for joining. That really means a lot. Let me go ahead and say, what's going on, buddy? How's it going over there, Jordan? How's everything going with you? CJ, I see you in the chat. Junior Fraz, I see you in the chat as well too. Dave, NLR, I see you in the chat, so I'll give you a shout out too. CJ, definitely see you. Plasma TV for gaming, I did see you. Got to give you a shout out. Oh yeah, look at his video as well too. He did cover a little bit of CES, so check his video out as well too. He had the same feeling about Samsung as well too. And I'm going to talk about that's going to be our next topic that we're going to go ahead and talk about next. So just wait and see. I see CJ is in there. What's going on, CJ? But yeah, it seemed like it's a good amount of people in the chat. So appreciate you guys. And oh yeah, you know what? I did something too. Uh did some updates. You may see some you may see some I got some sound noises. Oh no, y'all can hear that now, but yeah. But yeah, that's one thing that I've been playing with here and there on the back end and stuff. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I think you probably can. But yeah, I put some horns on there too. But yeah, let's go ahead and switch the topic up to Samsung. And I think Samsung is a there's a lot to unpack with Samsung. And yeah, there's I don't know. I'm about to let me go ahead and bring up the news and talk about this a little bit more. But yeah, it seems like Samsung is coming back with their glare-free 2.0 technology. And it's going to be pretty much on all their TV lineups except for the S90F and the S85F. I think those are the only two TVs that is not going to get the glare free. Oh, I don't know why the balloons came up, but I don't. But yeah, there's going to be the only ones that's not going to have the glare free technology. So, to be honest with you, I was now I talked about the whole matte finish on TVs for a very, very long time, and I've been vocal about the matte finish that Samsung is, and I also did a poll to everyone to see how they felt about it, and I'll bring that up a little bit later, but it seemed like a lot of people weren't too happy about the whole matte finish, and for me, I understand that Samsung is trying to double down with the whole matte finish, but I don't know. I like I said, I had to wait and see until I actually see the TV. But my first initial impression of the glare free 2.0 or the matte, they don't want to call it matte finish, but they want to call it their glare free 2.0 technology, is that I wasn't happy. I was pretty disappointed with learning that they're doing a matte finish again on pretty much their whole entire lineup of TVs, except for maybe two TVs, the S90F and the S85F TV. It just I get that they made some improvements, and some people and I will say this, I'm not saying the vast majority of people didn't like the matte finish, but there are some people who really didn't have a problem with the matte finish and stuff, and I'll talk about it in a minute. But it just I felt like I don't know where Samsung is getting these survey polls where people actually like the matte finish. I'm kind of curious to see where they're getting this data from. But it just for me, I kind of wish they would have left with the whole glossy screen TV. But that's just kind of like just my opinion. But I felt like a lot of other people who did um participate in the poll that I sent out earlier this week. It seemed like a good majority of people felt the same way too. But not only that we're getting a matte finish, the other disappointment about Samsung is that we're not getting an 83-inch QD OLED panel. So, which is a huge bummer when it comes to learning about that information. And that's something that I'm not really excited about because I really wanted to do an 83 inch. And I was really wanting to do a QD OLED. And even with the whole glare free stuff, I kind of get it and stuff like that. But I would even willing to kind of like sacrifice the whole matte finish to go for the 83 inch QD OLED. But once I found out that it wasn't QD OLED, but it was LG display, it just left a to be frank, it left a bad taste in my mouth and stuff. I don't know how other people felt about it in the chat right now, but for right now, I was really disappointed in Samsung just because we've been asking for an 83-inch QD OLED display for a very long time. They bought their top tier S95 over, but it's not getting the panel. So I don't know. I could be wrong, and maybe LG 4-layer stack may have something that blows me away. But it's just the thing is that with Samsung, it's just when it comes to the marketing and the communication, it's going to confuse a lot of people, consumers who are thinking, probably who haven't even watched CES to see if they might that they thinking of getting a QD OLED TV at 83 inch, and then find out it's not really a QD OLED, but is a LG display. So that's something that I find it kind of interesting, and I wonder why Samsung was unable to do an 83-inch version. But Samsung is never going to tell us why behind it. But yeah, it just seems from Samsung's side, I was let down a lot compared to all the TV announcements and stuff. But I have to wait to see the TV before give like a final judgment. But I felt that with Samsung, it wasn't all that great of a news. So I'm kind of curious how other people felt about that. But I will say this: the other end of the token, on the end of the side is that they did mention. Let me see. They did mention, and I showed this before. They are claiming 4,000 nits for the QD OLED technology. Granted, it's only what was it, a 3% window, and then from there it'll start to cut down on the nits when it goes to the window size, in particularly. But and then supposed to have like close to 400 full brightness for the QD OLED. So I'll wait and see before I officially say like, oh, this is horrible, horrendous. When it comes to what Samsung has done, but with the matte screen TV, I'm disappointed. I don't know. Some people may feel otherwise, but for me personally, I feel like I'm disappointed with that. Also, too, the lack of the 83-inch QD OLED display, that was a huge blow for Samsung, in my opinion, because you have a lot of people who's been waiting for a couple years for an 83-inch QD OLED, and it's not going to be coming through. And that's something that it was kind of like, I think is a negative on my side. But the other end, but the other end of it is that they did make some improvement with the processor. They also made some improvements with the nits and stuff, with the peak brightness and stuff. So it's like those are kind of like the things that's kind of like a hit and miss and stuff. So let me go ahead and catch up with the chat before I go ahead into the next topic. But let me know how everyone feels about Samsung announcement and their kind of like their TV lineup and the matte finish. Are you kind of like Team Matte or not? But just kind of like let me know in the comments. Let me just go ahead and Um, see if I could catch up with chat with this. Uh, yeah, I want to give a shout out to 36 people that is in the chat. Thank you everyone for joining. LB, I see you out here. Um, yeah, I see LB talking about the 83 inch is not QD is ridiculous. He said, why did they even release the 83-inch version? I don't know. That's a very good question. Um, there's speculations, but I'm not gonna say what they are. But um, I don't know. You know what? I'm not gonna make rumors or say why and stuff like that. But Samsung, I don't know. I think they dropped the ball when it came to not coming out with an 83-inch version of the QD OLED. And so that's something that I find it really interesting to hear in particular. Um Also to just looking at LG and what they're going to do with their newest displays. That's something that I'm going to bring up as well too, but it's just like for Samsung not coming out with the 83-inch, that was a huge blow, and then coming out with that matte finish screens, I don't know, I really feel that's a huge blow. I get that they made updates to it, but it's just like a matte finish. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, why would you even do that and stuff? So, um, let me see what's going on. SD said, Matt is bad, fat like a bell bottom. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna be on. I'm not gonna talk about matte screens too much longer. I said what I had to say, and I've been talking about it to death for the last couple of streams and stuff. I'm just kind of shocked that Samsung has done it for pretty much all their TV lineup. There's with the exception of two, but even their LCD TVs, they all get matte finishes too. And I just, I don't know. It's a huge disappointment, and I'm really trying to figure out where the Samsung get this data from customers that say, oh yeah, I want to have a matte finish screen. So I don't know where they get that from. Who made that decision? That wasn't a good idea. I hope they bring back the gloss screen again. It's just like, in my opinion, I feel like it has a better picture quality, has a better way, better picture quality when it comes to color. But that's just my opinion. And so I understand that once you turn off the lights, on the other hand, the picture you wouldn't know the difference on there. But I'm telling you, for me, who have well, I'm in the basement, so it doesn't really count. But in the living room, I do have a whole bunch of windows in the living room, and I know when the sun does reflect off the TV, it does give a different color to the screen, especially when it comes to matte screen specifically, and it also gives off a little grayish tone to it. I don't know what the glare free 2.0, I don't know if they fixed that or not. It does mention that in the article that I just showed a little bit on the glare free 2.0, but I had matte screen televisions in early 2000 when it comes to Samsung TVs. I had the Sony XBR2, and that's really kind of like dating my age right there. And I'm probably gonna show a picture of me with the XBR2. That's when you get to change the frame of the siding of the screen. But it had a matte finish, and the matte finish was just okay. But I was living in a apartment at the time that had all windows, and one of my biggest issues that I had with that TV was the reflection when the sun hits it. It's just I had a hard time seeing the picture. Granted, that was like, yeah, that's yeah, close to 20 years ago. When I had the Sony XBR2. Um, yeah, that's crazy. That has been, yeah, no, not 20 years. I'd say around like 15 years ago. But it is crazy that 15 years ago, you had a lot of TVs that was doing the matte finish when it comes to LCD, except for the plasma screen TVs, because plasma was the go-to TV, but it was just at a price tier that was so astronomical. But I just find it kind of interesting that Samsung is bringing the matte finish back, and it's just like how they did the whole curved TVs back in 2013. right when it came out with the curved TV, when it was talking about, oh, when you go to off viewing angles, you don't want to have no issues when it comes to color degradation, when it comes to looking at the side of the TV. And we see how those curved TVs came out. And that was another thing that that was a that was a very, very bad idea that Samsung has came out with the curved TV. So I don't know if a lot of people know about the curved TV and stuff, but that curved TV was a terrible idea and stuff. So, um, yeah, I just feel the same way about the matte finish. But I digress. I'll leave it out to people who thinking about buying a TV, and all you can do is speak with your wallet if you're going to get the TV or not. I just feel I'm going to take a look at the TV. I'm going to try to review that to you, but I'm just letting you know that the first impression of this technology is no bueno, no bueno, no bueno, not good, not good at all, not good at all. All right. So the next thing I do want to go ahead and switch up to is talking about LG a little bit. And I thought I had here, let me see here. Give me just a second. I thought I had an LG article up. Yeah, but now I want to kind of like talk about here, and particularly is LG TV. I'm trying to see if I could bring the article up right now. So please forgive me while it's taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take. Um, no, they didn't do exactly what I wanted to do. I should have had that article up earlier, but I had the Panasonic article instead. But LG has came out. I thought I had it. So they just made an announcement of their TV lineup, and the G5, which I think is kind of interesting, is they're not coming out with the MLA for the G5 technology, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I'm kind of curious how people feel about it when it comes to LG questioning. For a minute, I thought, and let me give me just a second. I thought I had show all news. I think I got it. Give me a second. Please give me just a second because I do want to bring this article out because this kind of I'm not really bummed about it, but oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry, it took me a second just to come up with the article, but let me go ahead and transition. I got it. I got the article. Okay, so LG has went ahead and announced their 2025 the four stack panel, which that was the rumor, but we didn't know that it was going to come out with the ML that they wasn't going to do MLA on this TV, and that's where I think a lot of people I don't know. It was mixed. I think it was really mixed when it comes to the MLA technology. Some people that I talked to that were really upset that LG didn't come out with the MLA for their G5 TV. They thought they was going to go ahead and continue it because they kept talking about MLA technology is supposed to be the best and they constantly make improvements. But now they went ahead and dropped the whole MLA. It seems that, and a lot of creators has mentioned this as well, that they only doing the 4-layer stack approach, and which to LG benefit, they did say it's going to be brighter and it says it's going to be more efficient compared to MLA. But the question that I have for LG when the G5 does come out and when they start announcing prices is that how much is it going to cost and stuff. Are they going to go down their pricing compared to when the G4 launched last year? I have an inkling that I don't think they will go down in price. I think they're probably going to have the same price as the G4 that came out last year when it was released. I could be wrong, but I think LG, the reason why they went with this approach instead of doing MLA is because it costs the company a lot of money. and I think they was trying to save some money, and so they have a different approach of doing it, which is understandable. I get where LG is coming from because, like, at the end of the day, they're trying to make money. They try to please their customers, and also they trying to, ultimately they trying to make their money, which I'm not knocking them on, but I'm just curious to just I wish we had more answers about the MLA portion of it and see what the reasoning for it. But looking at this, they are coming out with the four stack panel, which I talk about on the G5. They are coming out with a 65 hertz panel. Now for the lineup for the G5, this is where I'm not 100% sure on. So they are coming out with a 48 inch and they are coming out with a 97 inch of the G5. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to have the four stack layer or if it has the MLA from last year. I'm not that part I'm not really clear on. There was some information that said no, they're not going to have the same panel, and they said they said it's not going to be the same brightness. So I'm kind of curious to see what they use for the 48 inch and the 97 inch. So that's kind of like my questions that I have for LG, or whenever those TVs come out. I'm kind of curious to see what they're using. And then also too, the confusion was that for the 48-inch version, there was question of they don't know if they're going to get the 165 hertz or it's going to be 144. And those are kind of like other questions as well. If LG could probably talk about that a little bit more. I know I've been seeing some pictures and I know people have been commenting on it. I'm not sure if the 48-inch version is going to have the 165 hertz, but I'm pretty sure that they are using a different, and they may be using a different panel and stuff. I'm like 80% sure, and so according to a lot of people who are getting their sources and stuff, but as that how that translate as in brightness compared to their four stack panel, I don't know how much of a difference that's going to be when it comes to watching content or playing games and stuff like that. We just have to wait and see when that TV comes out. But with this four stack approach and their newest panel, I am interested to see how much brighter it's going to be, and then also too how the colors and the off angle viewing, because I know people were mentioning some issues with the MLA panel when it was talking about it look kind of pinkish when you look at content on a off angle. So I wonder if that's fixed with the new four layer approach, and then also too how much is going to be brighter compared to the previous G4 and stuff. I know Vincent from HGTV Test has mentioned over, I think, close to 2500 nit realm calibrated. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be accurate. More than likely, I think so, especially when it's coming from Vincent, because Vincent is very, very knowledgeable in that area, especially being a professional calibrator. So that might be it, or it may be a little bit lower than that. But that's going off of what LG is we're discussing about. So you just have to wait and see until like the actual TV comes out. Also too, um what I found that was kind of interesting as well too is that they made an update on their remote, and I thought it was probably going to be on here or not. Yeah, here it is. I think I got it. Let me see if I can bring this up. Yeah, they made a update on their remote, and I actually really like it. And I've been talking about the LG remote for the longest time. And I don't have an LG TV, but the remote that they had, that magic wand, I know there's a lot of people that love that remote, but I thought that remote was they needed to make an upgrade. They needed to make a huge upgrade with that remote. It was just like the Sony remote when I was just talking about, because that Sony remote before they made the updates a couple years ago, Sony remotes was like freakishly huge, and I just felt like we're in 2025 now and stuff like that, and you got all this huge buttons on this remote with the wand and stuff like that. I just think they could have done a better job on LG, and I'm kind of stoked about this latest remote. It does reminds me of my Sony remote and stuff, except for the middle part. It doesn't. It looks like it's a touch portion of it from what I'm looking at on the screen. But I like it. I think it's a nice remote and stuff. I think LG has done a really good job with it and stuff. I'm not gonna I gave LG some heat with their remote a couple years back when I was reviewing the C3, and they finally made the upgrade on it. So I don't know. I like it. I think it looks good and stuff. So I don't know how everyone feels about the remote in particularly, but I'm looking at the comments right now, and yeah, people feel very similar and stuff like that. So I don't know until we get the remote. I mean, I personally like it and stuff like that. I know people like the older remote, but it's time for a change. They got to upgrade their remote and stuff like that. I think LG was the only company that haven't made their updates and stuff to their remote. And like TCL and Hisense on the other hand, I kind of understand that because it's more of a consumer friendly when it comes to budget friendly, when it comes to their TVs. But it's like when you got LG, it's like LG, come on, you need to upgrade your remotes. It's like you see Samsung, they did a lot of efforts in their remote. Sony finally updated their remotes too and stuff like that. I know there's been some discussion about the Sony remote, but they made updates. I don't see buttons on there like I used to and stuff. And I could bring down the Sony remote just to show you guys the differences how they involve. But I like it. I think it looks good and stuff like that. So I thought it was interesting, but it's just like other than that, I zoomed in on here. I didn't mean to zoom in, but also too, oh, you know what? Thanks, buddy, for doing another donation. I appreciate that. Hold on for a minute, see if you guys can hear this right now. Let me know if you can hear the horn. But buddy over here, I was trying to pull up the chat. That's one thing I've been working on is for next stream I'm gonna see if I could pull up the chat. But buddy over here asked, he said let LG cook. He said let the quad layer OLED, aka tandem OLED, come to congregation before we pass judgment. He said it could be a W or a better than MLA. Now you know what, buddy, you're absolutely right about that. So I don't know. We'll see. My only question is that I'm just curious to know why LG kind of like they was just talking about MLA technology is going to be this, and we're going to constantly make improvements, and now they're going for this 4 layer approach. So my speculation is they just trying to make some money and stuff like that. So I just realized my screen was super long, so I apologize for that. But I don't know. I just find that kind of interesting that they did that. Um oh, they said they can't hear the horn. Let me see here. I thought I had the horn together. I guess I don't. Let me see here. Oh, nope, not that one. How's this? Hold on for a minute. Let me see if this works. Oh, now there's a horn. Can you hear the horn now? Well, that's not a horn. That's more of a boom. Oh, there's a horn. There's a horn. Can you hear now? So, buddy, thanks for the super chat on there and stuff. So, yeah, I've been working on my sound on here. So, appreciate it, buddy. So, I appreciate that. But we'll see what LG is going to do. I'm not knocking LG. We'll see. They probably doing some really good things with their technology. And oh yeah, CJ said there we go. Oh yeah, I got some other sounds too. I'm gonna go ahead and play with. I don't know what people know about the Undertaker. But yeah, we're gonna start having more fun with the sound effects and stuff like that. We'll see if it's going to be a hit or miss. But yeah, we're gonna start having more fun in the stream and stuff like that. As I'm learning more about this old OBS streaming system, I'm gonna start putting some more of this, making it more live for everyone to see. And yeah, if oh yeah, one thing you guys probably gonna have to go in and check out is, oh yeah, you're gonna like that horn. You gotta watch Squid Games. Squid Games season 2. You guys gotta watch that. Y'all guys gotta watch Squid Games and stuff like that. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but check that on Netflix. It's a great show and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna start having more fun with the stream. I'm starting to get a little bit better with OBS. But all right, let's switch off from LG. I do want to talk about Panasonic on here. Oh yeah, you like the prices right on there? We'll see what LG got to do. But let's go ahead and switch it up to Panasonic. Now, I haven't talked about Panasonic that much in the stream, and I need to start talking about this TV a lot more. And I really appreciate Panasonic technology and what they're doing. So they are using LG latest display, which is the 4 stack, but they call it the primary RGB tandem OLED panel. I don't know why they don't call it just the LG display panel. But yeah, so they're using the same panel as well. And but a couple of things that I was a little bummed out about from Panasonic. Panasonic look like they're doing a tremendous job with their TV, especially they came out late last year in 2024. I think it was around September, October time frame. But I kind of wish they had bigger sizes or more sizes. What they only have here for 2025, especially on their OLED lineup, is they only have a 55, 65, and a 77-inch, and that's for the Z95B. They are going to be using LG panel, and then they also have a cooling solution as well too. They called it the thermal flow, which is, I thought was kind of interesting with the with the thermal flow, because Sony has been doing something similar to that as well, especially with A90J specifically, to make it like a cooling solution to help when it comes to retain the brightness when it comes to HDR content. And so I'm kind of curious to see what not Samsung, what Panasonic is going to implement with their Z95B. And so I think that's going to be kind of interesting. Not only that they got the latest panels from LG, but they also have a cooling solution as well too, to retain that specular highlights. And that's something that I find it kind of interesting to do, to see. And so on top of that, what Samsung is, I'm not Samsung, I keep on saying Samsung, but what Panasonic is also doing is that they did make some upgrades to the TV. And which I know people had some issues with the picture settings, especially when people are trying to get the TV calibrated. They updated the menu. They did say they made some updates to their OS system, which are using Amazon. So I don't know how that's gonna look in real life, but I know there's been a lot of issues with their OS system where it has said it's been a little bit laggy. But Panasonic did assure that they made some updates to it to make it a little bit faster. I'm not really an Amazon OS fan, Fire TV fan. I kind of wish they would have went with Google, or if they would have did their own OS system. But I kind of understand why Panasonic has done that, is because they probably had some type of partnership with Amazon, and that was probably what was part of the discussion, as in like, hey, well, you got to use our OS system, and then also too, we're going to be the ones that sell the TVs at their site. So it's kind of interesting to see that. But I am interested to see what Panasonic is going to do with the LG display, the latest display, and see how their approach is, and especially when it comes to the thermal solution as well too, because that's something that Sony has done previously with the A90J, and it just seems like from what they have here implemented, it's kind of like I don't know. I think it's a win. It's just like those my only concerns are just like I wish they not using the Fire TV OS system, and then I wish they had a bigger screen TV. I'm kind of curious to see. I don't know reason why they haven't came out with an 83-inch version, because LG does supply that. But I guess Panasonic is still trying to test the waters in North America, in particularly see how the sales are. But I mean, looking at Amazon, especially during the holidays, they've been selling out of those TVs pretty well. So is I I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see see why they haven't come out with a bigger screen TV. But yeah, they made upgrades like all around, especially when it comes to the sound quality, the sound stage. They came did better with uh the look of the TV. I really wasn't a huge fan of the how the speakers were set up and stuff. That's just me. I didn't like the previous look of it. But looking at that, they made some improvements with it and stuff. But the whole Fire TV, I don't know. We just gonna have to wait and see how that goes. But I'm kind of curious to see how everyone's thoughts are about Panasonic. I think they overall did a really good job with it. I just kind of wish they just came out with a bigger screen with for 2025. So let me see what else is going on, and let me see if I could catch up with the chat here. Let me see here. SD mentioned, he said, I don't think that Panasonic is going to be as good as the G5. He's going to suffer major issues last year before when it comes to near black. Yeah, that's kind of like another thing too. SD, you did bring up a good point. So one thing that with the MLA technology is going back to LG. I remember when Panasonic did implement the LG MLA technology for their panels, people were mentioning that the blacks were not as black, but it was like kind of like grayish in certain views when it comes to the lighting in the area. And I know people had some issues with that. So since LG is not doing MLA and they're doing the four-layer stack approach, that may change. More than likely, it's going to change the look of the screen. The panel. I mean, it's going to look like it's how it's supposed to be, black wise. So I think that's probably a good thing as well too. Let me see what else is in the chat. Dave mentioned about the Fire TV as well too. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right about that as well too. I'm not a big fan of Amazon Fire TV OS, but I think it's something that was a deal between Amazon and Panasonic to bring the TVs over to North America. So I don't know. I don't know. All right, so let me go over. I do want to go over one more topic for today, and then I want to see how everybody else feel. So the last thing I do want to talk about, well, it's two things I kind of want to talk about. Is that I do want to talk about Sony in the absence of Sony. And if people are still in the chat right now, there was a question that came out. There was Sony had a live stream during the time of CES, and there was a question that came out that about QD OLED. And I want people to kind of see this first to see how what everyone's thoughts are. I thought this was kind of interesting, and I want to bring this up to the chat to see what people felt about it, because I think that Sony is not going to come out with a QD OLED this year. And I know people, and let me go ahead and kind of like say this in the chat. I will say this again. I don't think Sony is going to come out with a QD OLED. So, and so that is That's something that might be a huge blow to people. I think they may be coming out with an MLA technology. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to share a video and you guys can let me know how you guys felt about it. And then we'll go ahead and we'll discuss it. And let me know if you guys can hear it or not. Let me see. Let me go ahead and transition. And I think I'm at the mark right now. But hold on for a minute. Let me know if everyone can hear. Hold on for a second. Give me just a second. I gotta unmute this. I think I got this on. Yep, unmute site. And then. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
There's a list of all these people.
Yeah. All right. I think this is the wrap up now.
Yes. Because
can everyone hear it? I want to make sure y'all guys can hear
stuff and then get some sleep because it's early day, very long tomorrow. So that said, thank you all for joining us. I know it's not a huge amount of people, but we do appreciate the people that join with us. And those of you who are watching it after the fact, great if you made it this far, which is awesome.
For real.
Feel free to send us an email, throw some comments in there. If you have any questions, we'll do our best to support you in any way we possibly can.
Yep.
And we'll be live next week.
Yeah.
Ideally, well, probably
I think
Wednesday,
you guys. I think everyone can hear it.
for our earlier after hours that we're just kind of wing it and in the middle of our day.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh my God, we went way too long.
All right, so y'all can hear it.
But yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Happy holidays to everybody. Post, it was good. What day are we in? We in the new year? Yes. Happy New Year.
We are in the new year.
My brain is done for today.
That's okay. Dude, we've been off for 2 weeks.
Not all of us. Some people were working on comments and emails.
I actually was off. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody from being here. Thank you for the good luck, Bruce. I appreciate it. We're going to need it to just make it through with our voices and not getting sick too. So we'll see how that goes.
What killed Sony's QD OLED relationship?
Where's that?
I just can't let that stay out there. We got to talk.
Where's that?
Yeah, that one.
Here it is.
SD, great question.
SD.
What killed Sony's QD OLED relationship? Was it bias to another brand? There's reviews and influencers. I can't say that I know the answer. I wish I did because I probably would get a promotion out of it, right? I think the misconception of the Sony tax is one part of it. I think the misalignment of comparative models does that.
Yeah.
I think there's some assumptions that one model from brand X has the same technology as the other model because no one comes out and says, "Oh no, this one doesn't have that technology." Right? It's the allowing of misinformation to grow, because honestly, most of us are gonna buy a TV, take it home, and we just want it to be better than the TV we have at home, and that doesn't always mean you purchase the best available. So I think that's part of it. We will continue to work on making a compelling story, trying to welcome people back. I think our pricing from an alignment standpoint has been solid across the board. And I think our picture performance is delivered. So we'll see. But look, SD, keep letting us know if you see something or you think that there's something that we could do better. Please let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the comments. Love.
All right, so I had to show that. I thought that was kind of interesting, and the reason why I kind of want to bring this up in the chat is because there's been a lot of rumors that Sony may not be doing a QD OLED for this year. So and I think with the comment that happened earlier, I am not sure. I'm not sure if they actually gonna come out with one. So the reason why I'm laughing is because SD, you see him in the chat right now. He's the one that asked that question when Sony was doing their live stream, and the reason why I had to bring that clip up is because I find it kind of interesting, and I had to watch the stream myself too. Is that we see that Samsung didn't come out with an 83-inch QD OLED. The 83-inch Samsung TV, the S95F, is found out that is using the LG panel. Then we find out that LG panel, Panasonic is using LG panel as well too. So I'm not saying that Sony is going to come out with one, but it kind of leans towards that Sony might not come out with a QD OLED for 2025. That's just kind of like my inkling about it. Um, I'm not 100% sure because they haven't made the official TV lineup, but looking at the previous stream that showed last week where their TV lineup, and I'm gonna see if I can bring that up again. I think I have it. Let me see if I can pull that up on the screen. Is that yeah, I'm gonna see if I could try to pull it up. Give me a second. It seems like they're not going to be doing QD OLED. I don't know if they're going to do it in the future. I don't know if it's something that is going to happen. But looking at that information, I'm trying to see if I could pull it. Let me see if I could pull this screen up right now. Yeah, I got it right here. And then we go ahead and see if I could put this up in the chat for everyone to see. Give me a second. Image. Do this. Yeah, I'm about to bring this up right now too. So I'm kind of like doing this on the fly. From the image. I thought I had it. Let me see here. Yeah, here it is. All right. I think I got it. Then I'm gonna go down on this. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I could. Let me know if y'all can see this right now because I'm kind of like doing this as we talk. But I think you can see this. But looking at this spreadsheet of the lineup and then looking at what SD has asked Sony and then showing everyone the video that that Sony had on their stream. There's a likelihood that Sony's not going to do QD OLED for this year. So I don't I don't know. I'm really bummed out about it because now there's going to be the third year that Sony didn't come out with their updated version of QD OLED. But what I find it kind of more alarming about if it's true, and I'm saying if it's true, the next question is that is QD OLED, if not people are accepting it, will that might go away and stuff? That's kind of like another question, kind of like another topic. Because it seemed like Samsung is the only one using their technology, which granted, they came up with it and stuff, but not other manufacturers are using QD OLED. Maybe you got some gaming monitors here and there, but Sony haven't came out with a new QD OLED, and Panasonic is not using QD OLED either, and then Hisense and TCL, they're doing their own thing with the mini LED TVs. Which is rightfully so. TCL, I don't think they will ever implement QD OLED because it's like they're the major manufacturer when it comes to LCD panels. But yeah, looking at this and then looking at the video and then looking at the comment and then looking at the response from Sony. I don't know. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. And the price of a Sony A95L is still up there in price, close still $5,000. Uh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It is I mean, it's not good. And I had to bring that sound effect in. It seemed like QD OLED might be. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm speculating. I'm not saying it's true, but it'll be really sad if it doesn't go well and stuff. So, but regarding Sony, they may be using the latest four stack panel, or you know what, they might be using MLA. Who's to say and stuff. So once they make their announcement, we'll know. But I'll say this: if Sony doesn't come out with a QD OLED TV this year, it's not looking good for Samsung. Yeah, and I'm an advocate of QD OLED technology. I've been talking about how great QD OLED has been for a very, very long time. But people who bought the A95L TV, I don't know. That might be the last TV that Sony, one of the greatest TVs that Sony has ever produced in the QD OLED realm and stuff. So I don't know. I'm throwing it out there and stuff. So just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Let me go ahead and see if I could catch up with the chat here. And um kind of curious to see. Let's see here. I'm looking at the chat right now. Why are people acting like G4 didn't smack with the WOLED for the new fact okay, with the new brighter than MLA? Yeah, they came out with yeah, LG has we just got to wait and see what LG is doing and stuff. So I don't know if that may change. Let me see if I could bring up. Let me see if this works. I'm hoping that this works. I'm trying to see if I could start bringing up the chat, but I am having future chat overlays. That's what I need to do. Hold on for a minute. Let's see if this works because I want to start bringing up the chat for everyone and see if this. Can I do this now? Let's see if this works. Nope, it did not work. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little bummed that it may be true and stuff, but yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know what's Sony reasoning. If Sony make this announcement, I have this Excel spreadsheet pulled up, and they don't do QD OLED technology, then there's a reason why they went with LG. LG probably has some type of information or probably made it enticing for Sony to use their panel. It could be pricing, could be a lot cheaper and stuff. Who's to say? Their four-layer stack approach might be cheaper than what QD OLED is offering what Samsung is offering with the QD OLED displays. I'm just guessing, but looking at this is I don't know. It's not the greatest thing just to hear. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have at the moment. Let me see if anybody else have any questions. Yeah, Marcus, you are absolutely right about that. Mini LED TVs are starting to really steal the show. And specifically Hisense, if that RGB LED LCD TV is what it says it's supposed to be, especially with 97% BT 2020, that's supposed to be better than QD OLED, then I think there's going to be a huge shift, as in people will start thinking about going into that technology. But I mean, we have to wait and see. And then also too, Hyson, when it comes to their processor, and that's another thing I talked about too in the last stream too, is that if Hyson really has done a good job with their processor, then yeah, this is gonna that's gonna it's gonna be a huge shift. I think it's gonna be a huge shift if Hyson have a really good processor, especially with the UX coming out this year. And if it's as good as it's supposed to be, then the next question is, are they going to start using that technology for their smaller TV models and then also their processor? And more than likely, I think they will, because Hisense is not going to stop uh, when it comes to innovation and pushing the mini LED technology. And 10,000 nits, that's kind of like another thing I kind of like brushed over a little bit. 10,000 nits, that is insanely bright. But then the next question is that how the way they use the 10,000 nit brightness, especially when it comes to implementation, when it comes to HDR content, is how the way they used it. I know that Caleb did a review on the UX from last year, and I think it went well above the 10,000 nit realm. And I don't know what the exact numbers were, but it was over 10,000 nits. So it's just the question is that if Hisense came out with a whole brand new processor, and the processor is, you know, twice as better as the last year version, especially when it comes to this RGB technology. Man, I don't know. I'm saying this right now. Don't sleep on Hisense. I I uh I know when I reviewed the TV, I did talk about my issues when it comes to the processor and when it comes to banding and stuff and when it comes to upscaling. But looking at that presentation that they presented earlier this week at CES, I think they did a phenomenal job. In my opinion, I think they had I think they had one of the best TVs out for CES. In my opinion and stuff, I think the RGB LED LCD TV, I think it was one of the best ones that I think I've seen. I think next is going to be LG. I think LG, I think they did a decent job. LG, even though people are bummed out about the whole MLA technology, I am wondering about their four stack approach, especially now you got 165 hertz, which a lot of manufacturers are doing too. They're doing all 165 hertz, but you got 165 hertz. They are making some updates to the OS system, which is I thought was kind of like really good too. Anybody didn't know that LG is going to be using Xbox, you could play Xbox Live on their TV, just like how Samsung having their TVs, the cloud gaming, specifically Xbox Cloud Gaming. I think that's a real good benefit for LG owners, especially if you don't have an Xbox. You could just get the Xbox Live account. You go ahead and get a wireless controller, and you can just have that play on your TV. I thought that was a huge benefit, especially when it comes to the gaming realm. Also, to the remote. I know some people may not like the remote, but I really think it's a huge benefit in the LG realm, because I didn't like the previous Magic remote. I thought that remote is outdated. It was good. It was good at its time, but that remote hasn't been updated since 2020, maybe 2018 and stuff. So I think that's a 7-year remote. So I think it's about time that they finally updated it. Samsung, on the other hand, I kind of wish they did a better job when it comes to the matte finish. And I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. But they should have done a better job. We'll see how that glare free 2.0 technology is gonna work. Um, but I am interested to see how much, as in processor wise, on the S95F specifically. how much better it is going to be compared to the S95D. And then if those numbers that they claim, the 4,000 nit, especially at the 3% window, I am very, very interested to see how that's going to look and stuff. It seemed like some people, it seemed like some creators were really excited about it. I'm trying to hold judgment until I see the TV itself, but that is pretty good at learning that information, especially a full field is supposed to get to 400, and I'm going to give it 400. More likely it might be just under 400 around the high 300 realm net brightness or full field brightness. But yeah, I think that's really exciting news with that. Uh TCL, the reason why I haven't talked about TCL that much is because they haven't came out with their full lineup of TVs. They only talked about the 6 and the 7, which they could go up to 100-inch screen TVs, but they haven't went into too much detail about their other models. And I'm kind of curious to see what TCL have up in store, and especially when it comes to their TVs. Uh Especially the QM8, or if they're gonna call it a QM8, they may call it something else, but I'm kinda curious to see what they're gonna do with that TV. Um, Hisense didn't announce all their TV lineup, so I'm kinda curious as well what they're gonna have in store with their lineup of TVs. They only came out with the RGB LCD LED mini LED LCD TV that is gonna be coming out 2025. And then other thing is Panasonic. Uh, I'm excited about Panasonic. I haven't talked about the mini LED TVs that much, but I'm more excited about their OLED lineup to see how they're gonna implement their TVs. But we'll wait and see. But yeah, other than that, I think we caught up in the chat. Oh man, there's a lot of people in the chat. So we got 40 people in here. So thank you everybody for joining. This is I I appreciate you guys showing up on here. And so that was pretty much CES in a nutshell. I didn't see anything great about it. They talked about HDMI 2.2. I'm not gonna bring it up in the stream. I'm not. I don't know. It sounds good, but at the same time too, you're not gonna have a lot of technology that's gonna be utilizing HDMI 2.2 and stuff like that. So we're just gonna have to wait and see as they start rolling out in the TVs. I mean, we don't even have TVs that's fully capable of having all the HDMI 2.1 inputs. So now we're bringing out HDMI 2.2. It's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go into too much with that. But with Sony, on the other hand, Sony is the last manufacturer that we don't know the TV lineup, and I still have this on my screen. I am excited to hear what they're gonna have line up. I'm not gonna hold my breath for QD OLED technology, or Sony, excuse me, not QD OLED technology. I'm not gonna hold my breath when it comes if Sony is gonna announce the predecessor, if they're gonna have a QD OLED TV for this year or not. They might not. I don't think they will. You could quote me on that one. I really don't think they're gonna come out with a QD OLED, but if they do, I'll come back on the stream and say, you know what, I was wrong. Yeah, I don't have a problem saying that. But I am excited to see what they're gonna do with their mini LED TV, and that's kind of like why I'm so excited about Hisense a little bit, just because that even though they're gonna be the first to come out with the RGB mini LED LCD TV, I'm kind of curious to see what Sony is gonna do because I what if, and this is something that I haven't talked about. I talked about it a little bit in my previous video, but what if Sony uses Hisense technology for the RGB mini LED LCD TV technology for their TVs? I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't know. I'm just thinking to myself, what if they do? I think that would be something huge. I'm just throwing it out there. I think that would be something huge for Sony if they come out with that. And I'll be happy about that. I think that'll be positive, but that's going to be also be expensive as well too. I know that now if Sony announced something with RGB mini LED TV, then I did say something about the Hisense being under 20. Sony's probably going to be $40,000. That's going to be a crazy price. But the technology, it seemed like it's shifting and stuff. If the claims are true about the 97 BT 2020 information is right when it comes to the reproduction of color and so forth. I don't know. I think there's going to be a game changer when it comes to people who own a OLED TV. They may be going to the mini LED camp. I don't know and stuff. I'm interested because I like to play that. I like to play. I'm in the middle because I got OLED TVs upstairs and then I got a mini LED TV right behind this camera. So I'm playing both bases, so I can see both sides and stuff. But it's nice to see that they are pushing that technology. I want to see how that stacked up against the QD OLED. I don't know. And looking at here with the Sony lineup, um, yeah, it's something that it may be it may be something to talk about here. So yeah, it's curious. But other than that, let me see here. Is there any other questions? Um, oh yeah, you know what? Just to give everyone a heads up too. Thank you everyone for joining the chat. But I will be doing the video since CES is over with. Now they made the announcement of TVs. I am going to go ahead and do another video, see what the prices are for TVs, and kind of like go from there. And if everyone can do me a favor and support my Lions, they doing good. Let me, let me. I gotta do the horn for this one. I gotta do the horn. I gotta do the horn. I gotta do the horn for that one. Yeah, I love the Lions, and hopefully they do well on that one. And but other than that, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and end the stream, unless anybody else have any questions out on here. It looks like I don't know, CES. I wasn't I wasn't too happy. I'm kind of glad I didn't go this year. And I know they had some good technology here and there, but I'm going to keep it 100 with everyone. I thought it was just okay and stuff. Uh, I didn't see too much exciting news from any of the TV manufacturers except for the mini LED RGB, RGB LCD TV. But I am interested to see what they're going to do with the 4-layer stack OLED approach from LG Display. But other than that, I thought it was just okay. I did want to talk about a little bit of 3D technology a little bit. But oh yeah, I want to show you guys. This is just showing you if they bring back 3D technology back. I still got my 3D Blu-ray movies. I haven't seen too much information about the 3D monitor from Samsung, but I think it's supposed to be coming out this year. If it is coming out this year, I do want to pick that one up, and I want to do a review to see how that goes. And from my understanding from the videos that I have found, that it's supposed to have two cameras and it's supposed to look at your eyes and supposed to shift the image based on where you're looking at on the screen. And I'm kind of curious to see how that works, especially you don't have to wear glasses, 3D glasses for it. But we're just gonna have to wait and see with that. But other than that, I appreciate everyone joining the stream. I'm just floored that everyone, like I said, each week it seemed like it's more and more people are joining, and I just want to say thank you guys for that. That is, I don't know, it means a lot to me, and just doing that, it just means everything. I have to give you guys a horn. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. There we go. That's the one I meant to do. I didn't mean to do the Price is Right one, but yeah, I just appreciate you guys doing that, and I'm gonna try to get KG in the stream one of these days and stuff, he's been busy, or I could try to get Brian or Stop the FOMO to see if they bless me with coming on the stream one of these days. So I'm going to try to message them to try to get them on. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Hit the comments how y'all feel about CES. Yeah, wasn't great, but I don't know. We gotta wait to see what Sony got to do and stuff. I want to hold your breath about QD OLED. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Without further ado, I'll talk to everyone on the next one, and take care. All right, bye.